Hello, this is Mocha Mommy here, bringing you another video. And this video is kind of around the conversations that rotate around interracial dating. Now, I am married interracially, and I've just been noticing that there are some conversations that we need to really put into context and that we need to discuss a little further. Now, interracial dating is not a new topic. We've been seeing a lot more Black woman, non-Black male couples around mainstream media. There are even several Black woman, non-Black male couples on YouTube that have quite a following. But what makes these conversations disturbing and what needs to really be put in context is the whole concept of, well, if Black women are going to be dating interracially, all you guys have access to is a bottom shelf Brad. So we're going to talk a little bit about bottom shelf Brad and what that really means. Now, there is a growing demographic of Black women with non-Black men, and just rest assured that the children of these unions are doing fine. It's been confirmed across multiple sources that these kids are doing well academically and healthcare-wise. So although I do understand that socially that it is a cause of concern, but in the reality, we have a lot of documented evidence that these children are doing just fine. The children that are the products of the union are just fine. And the members who are participating in these unions are also doing well. But as we look at the changing demographics of the United States, especially the 2020 census, the concern is kind of about the state of Black America, where we're heading, what's our trajectory, and knowing that this is potentially the last census where we're going to be the majority minority, that African Americans will no longer be the largest non-white ethnic group in the United States. So I can understand the concern and I understand the context of the concern, but let's look a little bit at the numbers and what they really mean. Now, the most recent census has a documented number of Americans at 328,239,523. 76% of that population is white, meaning that 249,462,000, 37.48 of those people are white, okay? And of that, 48% are white males. That means 119,741,777.9. Get that? 119,741,777.9 white men are in America. Now think of the indignation when the approximately 43 million Black people get stereotyped, categorized, or drawn as a monolith. Now, that same type of indignation can apply to white men. There are approximately 120 million of them in this country. So no one can say for certain what it is that they're thinking, who it is that they'll date, what their preferences are, and what their aspirations and goals are, and how they feel about Black women or any other group of women. The same can be said for the over 20 million Hispanic men or over 10 million Asian men, both populations where the men outnumber the women because of the current immigration policy. 53% of all incoming immigrants are men, not women. So that leaves a surplus of men in other communities. Who's to say that they won't search out other women, including you? Just put yourself out there and see what happens. Your only goal should be to find someone who shares your value system, your aspirations, your goals, and your future trajectory. You are not obligated to do anything else. And you have to understand that you're not subject to anybody's criticism. Now, as both a student, healthcare worker, and instructor, I've seen so many Black women work really hard to achieve their goals and their dreams. I've seen a lot of Black women go and nurture their hobbies, interests, and be committed to their own self-improvement. So understand that there are people who are going to value that journey. Believe it or not, other people are having that struggle too. So my suggestion is to build alliances with those people who are sharing your value system. I had multiple students, white male students, who knew what it was like to go to school from 8 to 2, work from 3 to 11, and then still show up to take a biology final. Trust me, your struggle is not unique. Neither are your challenges. So make it a point to build those alliances with people who share your value system, not just based on race. There's a movie I had saw on Netflix called Hillbilly Elegy, right? Really great movie based on a book by a Yale lawyer, okay? This guy had come from a really, really difficult situation in America's Rust Belt. He had to deal with addiction, dysfunctional family dynamics. He had to work with student debt, working himself up and trying to find his way through the employment system. He had a military obligation. And when I saw this movie, I saw that there were some really universal things that we can all relate to as far as our struggles. You know, not every white man is privileged. Sometimes every measure of success that they have, they've had to work for every single inch, just like you have, Black women. So it's really unrealistic to say that no one will be interested in you, no one cares about your drive, no one cares about your struggle, no one cares about your victories. That's untrue. There are a lot of people who see value in what it is you've accomplished and what it is you've overcome. Now, you don't just have to bond over struggle. You can bond over common interests. You can bond over shared goals. You can bond over shared value systems. All I'm saying is that you have an opportunity and a unique sense of self and beauty that is admired by people from all backgrounds. Now, the sad and unfortunate thing about this bottom shelf Brad dynamic is not just what I'm hearing about on YouTube, but what I've been witnessing in real life. Let me give you an example. There is a young lady who I had the pleasure of mentoring. She is a clinical lab technician. Her salary is approximately between $45,000 and $49,000 a year. She is married to a man who is white and Asian. He has a white dad and a Filipino mom. He is an X-ray technician. He also has an associate's degree, and his salary is between $50,000 and $63,000. Now, of course, these are pre-COVID numbers. We all know that healthcare workers are earning a little bit more now these days. Now, the unfortunate bottom shelf Brad narrative that's going around this young couple and their relationship and their new marriage is really unfortunate because it seems as if the narrative of the bottom shelf Brad that's being spewed, not just with this young couple, but also on YouTube, are from guys who don't earn, on average, what these quote unquote bottom shelf Brads earn. Let me give you an example. Here in Austin, the average household income is about $71,000. They exceed that. Now, this man earns between $50,000 and $63,000 a year, okay? Now, if we're going to classify him as Asian, yeah, you're right, that is a little bit below what Asians earn. But if we consider him white, it's about right on par. Now, the insults are coming from a group of people who earn significantly less than that. Not to mention the fact that this young man, who has an associate's degree, is now getting his bachelor's in nuclear medicine. So that's really great for him that he's really found his passion and that he's going to be going forward in his career. So that salary puts him around between $75,000 and $80,000 a year. By the time he's 33, I would say that that's pretty good. Not to mention the fact that they just purchased their first home and his car is paid off. He's got no student loans and he was able to add his wife to his employee-sponsored health insurance. The group that's insulting this couple and their relationship can't really offer that. So we just really have to consider the source of where these bottom shelf Brad rumors are coming from. Also, a lot of times I feel like we as women kind of put numbers on a man and his ambition and his value. Let's think about it. If you meet a younger guy under 30 with a forward moving trajectory, I don't think that guy should be excluded just because he hasn't arrived yet. I think that guy should be encouraged and supported, especially if he's marriage minded, and that's your goal too. The most important thing you can do as a Black woman is to feed your spirit, indulge your interest, find and seek those hobbies, challenge yourself academically and professionally, and then find someone whose value systems match your own. It shouldn't make a difference what race the person is. And it should make a difference the type of criticism you get, because a lot of the criticism are coming from people who don't share your values. And should you bring biracial or multi-ethnic children into this world, research has shown again and again that multi-ethnic children with Black mothers are doing just fine by all measures, health-wise and academically. So that's of no concern. The most important thing that you can do is go forward into your future with optimism, openness, and free of criticism. Don't internalize it. Your goal, Black women, should be your own personal happiness, no matter what form that takes. If it's an interracial dating or marriage situation, or just being by yourself, your happiness should trump anyone's opinion. It should trump anyone's criticisms, because a lot of times the source of that criticism usually is in no place to criticize. There's no need to disparage, argue anybody in a comment section, or try to dispute those facts. All you have to do is be happy. And no matter what forms that takes, I'm happy for you. So going forward, let's not indulge in these bottom shelf Brad discussions. Let's not defend our relationships or defend our rights to explore them. Let's not sit over here and disparage those who are disparaging us, but just go out and live our lives to the fullest, to the best of our ability, and to just foster a nurturing and loving relationship, no matter what form that takes. Thank you for over 100 subscribers.